You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
And you would think about, or at least I would dream about, maybe one day when we're on ESPN, when we have the marquee game, when we have this team that everyone on ESPN wants to talk about or discuss, or we're just that, we are that team, we are those dudes, and now we are those dudes. We have all of the marquee star power, firepower that you could ever imagine. We got a head coach in Doc Rivers, who you can discuss whether, I'm not the biggest fan ever, but that's a big name. Daryl Morey, GM, big name. Joel Embiid, big name. James Harden, big name. We got big names all over the place. And we are absolutely marquee, and not to steal from my good friend Stephen A. Smith, box office. We are absolutely box office now. And we are worth the price of admission every single night. So, like I said, we had some bozos, some real bozos talking about the Sixers this week. And let's just get into my man, my personal friend, I'm just kidding, Jason McIntyre from Fox Sports 1. He was in this week, or last week, I believe, for the people from Undisputed. Skip and Shannon must needed a couple days off, so they sent in Jason McIntyre, Rick Bucher, and Greg Jennings to give their hot takes on the 76ers and just the whole situation. So I'm going to play this, this clickbait sort of thing from Jason McIntyre just because, it works for both of us. I play his shit. This is what he wants. He wants people to just talk about it. It doesn't matter whether he's right or wrong. He doesn't even believe half the shit he says. But, let's just get into it.
I mean, Bucks, I get it. I really love this Sixers stuff, guys. I don't know if you were on social media. Hopefully not. You spend your weekends with your families. But I did see some bozos in Philadelphia posting photos of James Harden hugging Joel Embiid on the court and saying, this is the new Kobe Shaq. And I lost it. I just couldn't stop laughing. I told my kids, this is comical. Folks.
Now, listen, you want to argue that, that's fine. That I'm not going to sit here and comparing Kobe and Shaq, a team, or, those guys who won 3 titles. They three-peated, right? They won 3 titles together. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you whether that's correct, factual, or false, or anything like that. I'm not into the comparison game like that, but let's keep it going.
I mean, listen, the reality is these are 2 great regular season players, right? James Harden, an iconic regular season player. All he does in the playoffs is choke, kind of like his coach, Doc Rivers, the only coach to lose 3 3-1 series in NBA history. And Joel Embiid, he's never been an alpha in the playoffs. He's never been in the conference finals.
This is that most basic level of sports discussion or argument or anything like that, where it's just alpha, he wasn't the guy. It's just shit like that, just all dumb shit that it's just using these little buzzwords to get people going or excited or think one way or the other, because none of that means anything, okay? You can go and James Harden has not played well in the playoffs. You can't say that Joel Embiid hasn't played well in the playoffs. Maybe he hasn't played on the level that he has in the regular season, but he's never been this good as he is this year. So that all that to me is just nonsense. No one says Jokic hasn't played well in the playoffs, right? They don't hold that shit against those guys when they talk about them. Any of those guys.
That settle in. Hell no. The Sixers are not the favorites in the East. The gambling odds have them 3rd, and I'm with Rick. I love the Miami Heat. I hyped the Heat on this show. You guys remember back in the offseason in August, and y'all laughed at me. We're the Miami Heat first in the East.
You're so smart, bro.
But I do want to drill down for a second, Rick. This Harden Embiid idea that they're going to just dominate and eviscerate the East, okay? Let's look at how they are as players. These are guys who are your turn, my turn. I'm going to do my...
You didn't watch the game. All right, you really didn't watch the game. It wasn't like a, my turn, your turn sort of situation. They were running a pick and roll, and whatever was open or whatever whatever worked for them, they did. If it's pumping the ball down to Joel and letting him go to work, or it's setting a pick for James and letting him get a matchup and letting him hit a step back 3 on someone, that's basketball, bro. You go, I go. There's one ball. What are you talking about?
I step back, I'm going to get in my bag, and I'm going to fire up some garbage, okay?
Oh, some
and then
garbage, yeah.
okay, it's my turn to showboat and try some Hakeem Olajuwon stuff.
Oh, okay.
Rick, The reality is
can
these
just
are
tell.
two ISO players. They do not work.
You can just tell, though, like the showboat Hakeem, just doing some Hakeem shit on the way to averaging like 28 points a game and leading the league in scoring. Just some Hakeem shit, showboating, right? Not playing basketball or dominating the game or in the lead for the MVP race. Just showboating.
Great together. I can't wait for the honeymoon to end in the playoffs. And
Hater.
Rick, I'll take it a next step. This is not even a top 5 duo in the East.
So that is where you can't even. That's where you like whatever little bit amount of credibility you had just completely goes out the window. Just see you later, bro. Thanks for coming. No, yeah, okay. What? Like, come on, man. Not even a top 5 duo in the East. What? Come on, dude. You can't even talk logically about that, irrationally, and say that they're not a top 5 duo in the East. And listen to some of the names that he brings up here. Like, this is like...
When you got like Kyrie and KD who
maybe, right? If he's playing.
played great together, Jimmy Butler, who's a great defender, and Bam Adebayo.
Now, get the fuck out of here. Seriously, get the fuck out of here if that's the second one you name. I like that. That is a fucking joke. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, both of our guys singularly are better than those two. Joel Embiid is better than Bam Adebayo. James Harden is better than Jimmy Butler. Next question.
You go on down the list. Giannis and Middleton.
All right, Giannis and Middleton I will not disrespect because they won a title together. But I arguable, right? Arguable.
Brown and Tatum. All these.
What? Am I on drugs? Am I hallucinating? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are better than Joel Embiid and James Harden? Maybe if you base it off the last 15 games or whatever. I mean, these guys are melting down for a large portion of this season, and now they finally figured out how to play basketball together. They finally figured out that there's an A button on their controller. Congratulations. No, they are not a better duo than Joel Embiid and James Harden.
Combos work better together.
Oh, they work better together. He has to throw that little tidbit in there.
Awakening for Philly fans. I know you don't have a lot of experience in the playoffs, but when you look at
that's just like more buzz, like the typical, like that's the Colin Cowherd sort of thing, because he's like a little Colin Cowherd, like a minion, where you just try to like stir the pot with whatever the fan base is that you're going after, and that's what he's doing. Like, yeah, you like here we'll go back.
Rude awakening for Philly fans. I know you don't have a lot of experience in the playoffs.
I know you don't have a lot of experience in the playoffs, even though we've been in the playoffs all of the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, we haven't had great success there, but name the team that has. Right? Who are these teams that are having this large amount of sustained great success? The Heat? Yeah, the Raptors? Oh, okay. Yeah, right. They were kind of like one and done sort of things, right? Okay. Yeah, the Hawks, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, the Celtics. Right. It's not, it's not 2017 anymore. Okay. So, yeah, this is just, I actually feel bad that I'm still even talking about this, but it's, this is fun.
But when you look at the postseason, it is a totally different animal. Guys,
agreed.
Actually try on defense. And James Harden, he's seen it. They key on him and he can't do anything. I'm just telling you, Sixers fans, a first-round exit will not be a surprise for me, especially if they have to draw Miami, Milwaukee, or maybe even Brooklyn.
I mean, you should see the dumb face he has when he says this nonsense. Come on. This is just so disrespectful. I'm just going to
J-Mac, you always start out in the right direction, and then it's suddenly like, whoa, where'd he go? He just fell off the cliff.
I'm right here.
Jaylen Brown, not a better combination than Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Yeah, those guys have been to the conference finals multiple times. They are great, talented players. I'd take them as a duo over Harden and Embiid, this duo that everybody thinks is the new Kobe Shaq. They're not. Sorry.
Look,
you're holding on to that. That's always what when you're losing an argument, you're going to hold on to the one thing that you can at least argue about, and that is that Kobe Shaq thing, which I'm not going to sit here and argue with you that they are on the level of Kobe and Shaq, two of the greatest players to ever play the game. So it's just, yeah.
He's going a little too far, but you're going way too far in the other direction.
Does
You're
James Harden play an
eviscerating
ounce of
them as a
defense?
combo.
Oh my
Find me
God.
the definitive James Harden playoff moment where he actually showed up in a game 5, 6, or 7. Just find me one.
Oh yeah, it's now all these different little tidbits and all these moving the goalpost sort of situations. But this is the same guy who said, with Russell Westbrook, the Lakers are going to wreck the league in the regular season. They will dominate the West. They're the clear number 2 to the finals behind the Nets. So this is Jason McIntyre. This is who we are. This is who I am sitting here discussing and breaking down. His glorious hot takes and this nonsense that he continued to spit out of his mouth. Jason McIntyre thinks the Sixers should move on from Embiid and build around Ben Simmons. Okay. This is the same guy who said, this nonsense.
You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.